Good morning, boys and girls. This week we are going to start our reading lesson on recounting and retelling fairy tales, folk tales, and fables. First, I want to introduce to you our new standard. We're going to be able to recount stories, including fables and folk tales from diverse cultures, and determine their central message, lesson, or moral. So recount is where you're going to be able to retell stories, and I'm going to talk to you about what a fable is and what a folk tale is. And diverse means different places around the world. Different cultures tell stories in different ways. And then I'm also going to talk to you about what a central message is, a lesson, or a moral. So a fable is a fictional story that teaches a moral or a lesson. It is usually a shorter story with a problem and a solution. Most of the time it has animals as the characters. A folk tale is also a fictional story that teaches a moral or a lesson. It is usually a longer story with a problem and a solution. Sometimes it has good versus evil characters. So a lot of our fairy tales that we read, the Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, those are all considered folk tales because those are a lot longer stories. And then shorter stories, usually like the rabbit and the hare, and there's other fables that I'll introduce to you later. So the 5 steps to retell a story are telling who the characters are, the setting where the story takes place, the events, what happens in the beginning, middle, and end of the story, what the problem is, the struggle that the character has, and the solution, how the character solves the problem. So these are the 5 steps that we're going to practice so we can retell fables and folk tales. And then a lesson in a story is what the story can teach us. So here's a few examples. Do your best, be nice to others, tell the truth, never give up, be a friend, and be brave. All right, so right here is a picture of how you can practice retelling using your hand. So if you put your hand, the palm of your hand out, you can think about your 5 fingers, and that will help you understand and remember how to retell the 5 important parts of a story. So you have the setting is one, you're going to tell the characters, the problem, the events, and the solution. And when you're able to understand and retell all those parts of a story, that's going to help you understand what the central message is. And remember, the central message is the lesson that the author is teaching you in the story. So I'm going to retell to you a story that I know all of us are real familiar with, and that is the Three Little Pigs. So the first thing I'm going to retell is the setting. So the setting in this story is there's a straw house, a stick house, and a brick house. The characters in this story are the first pig, second pig, third pig, and the big bad wolf. Now the problem in this story is the big bad wolf wanted to eat the little pigs. The events that happen in the story: the 3 little pigs all had built their own homes. One was made of straw, one was made of sticks, and one was made of bricks. The big bad wolf tried to blow down each pig's house. He blew down the straw and the stick houses. So then the solution in the story: the first 2 pigs whose houses got blown down ran to the 3rd pig's brick house. And the wolf couldn't blow the brick house down, so all the pigs were saved. So I didn't talk about yet what the central message or the lesson in this story would have been, but the lesson in the story probably would have been for the big bad wolf to just leave the pigs alone. That would have been his message or lesson that he learned. And then the 3 little pigs lesson, part of their lesson could be to stick together, don't give up. So today I want you to practice reading a fairy tale or a folk tale using Epic or Raz Kids, or if you have your own fairy tales at home. And I want you to practice your 5-finger retell, where you can retell the setting, the characters, the problem, the events, and the solution of the story. All right, boys and girls, today you're just going to practice this in your books. You don't really have a follow-up assignment, but I really want you to be thinking about this because you will later in the week have something where you're going to retell using your 5 fingers the important parts in the story. All right, boys and girls, have a good day.